We have seen a lot of big announcements this year in the automotive space, probably none bigger than women in automotive. And I want to go ahead and welcome our next two guests, and I want to congratulate them as well. They are Veronica Dunford of Dealerbuilt and Kathy Gilbert of CDK Global. Ladies, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
Welcome.
Ted.
Veronica, our audience is familiar with Veronica Dunford of Dealerbuilt. Kathy, this is your first time on the roundtable, so thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you very much. It is definitely an honor to share with all of your viewers what we're doing as it relates to women in automotive. And I'm glad to be here. I look forward to our conversation.
You know, we all know women in automotive is important, but Kathy, why is it so important, especially right now with all the things happening in our industry?
So, when I think about right now, I think about 7, 8 years ago. I have spent most of my career over the last 20 plus years. I won't say how many exactly, but over 25 years in this industry, supporting our women dealers as well as our minority dealers. And what has always been important is that you only have about 6% of women that are truly in leadership roles and at the dealership. And those numbers still remain low. And we are, I continue as well as Veronica in terms of just really focused on women in automotive. And so about 7 years ago, I was one of the founding members of Women in Auto. We started with the whole mission of how do we advocate and advance the role of women in the automotive industry. So there were six of us. And it was so important for us to really look at how do you drive more advancement? How do you drive more growth? How do you get women that are in the industry not only to share their stories, but also advocate for women that are here and to drive more women into the business? And so fast forward, you look at in the middle of a global pandemic, you look at the political situation, you look at social unrest. It was just so much happening. And so the organization kind of stalled for a little bit in terms of trying to really look at what our direction was going forward. And so I'm fortunate to be partnering with Veronica and Gary and Robin and Joni, those of us that are on the team, to really take this to the next step. And what that means for women in the industry today is that you still have an advocate that's here to support you. You have an organization that has a great number of connections and sponsors and business leaders that just want to support women that are coming into the industry, help those that are in the industry already to advance their career, as well as those that are looking to grow. And so that's part of what Women in Automotive is all about. How do we recharge the industry and recharge our partners to really focus on giving back and supporting women, advocating for women so that we can continue to grow the number of women in the organization?
And Kathy, I could think of nothing better than the Women in Automotive Conference because that has really been the standard in the industry now for a number of years. So, I congratulate you on the initiative and all the hard work that you've done to get us to this point. And now, congratulations on the acquisition with Veronica. Veronica, Kathy mentioned the word recharge, and I thought that's a great way to position it. Veronica, what is Women in Automotive Recharged? What does that mean to the membership and so forth?
Well, like Kathy just said, we're looking to just recharge all the initiatives that we originally, and Kathy with the original founders had started so long ago. And when we looked at acquiring Women in Automotive several months ago, initially, ironically, we were turned down. And the more that Christy had thought about it, I believe that I kind of talked her into it, more like begged and pleaded, because I really had such a drive and passion to continue the legacy she started. She had other offers, but it was really just kind of disheartening some of the directions those offers might have taken it. We don't know. They may have continued, but we had all poured so much into the organization over so many years that it was really pick me, that kid in the corner saying, no, pick me. We really want to pick up this ball and run with it. And at the end of the day, she did. She picked me. And
Mhm.
I gathered up my closest, dearest friends that I knew had the same drive and passion, and we ran with it. And that's, we just have such an ambition and a drive to, as Kathy says, recharge this initiative.
Mhm.
We have so many things that we just want to do to not necessarily change, but to grow and expand what was initially started. And
Mhm.
we just have big dreams and big goals. And I think with the group that we have, the sky's the limit.
I think we can all see and feel your passion, Veronica, and Kathy as well. And I can relate to that, to making sure that, is that legacy now going to be carried on and, taken even bigger?
Mhm.
Kathy, recharged women in automotive, what does that mean now to the membership going forward?
So one of the things that we've been talking a lot about are some of the same things we talked about a couple years ago. And I think that in the climate that we're in today, we're coming out of a pandemic, everybody is excited. I'll tell you, those of us that had an opportunity to go to NADA, that was one of the best
Mhm.
experiences because I just get a chance to see people and touch people and like not touch in a crazy way, but
But
to
hug
just touch
them.
and get a
We actually
hug,
got
right?
hugs.
To give, a high five or shake hands. And,
Sure.
and what I would tell you is when you think about recharging, I think there's so many of us that now are at that point of saying, what does this new normal look like? Right. And for us, that new normal is really about enhancing the membership that we have. So for those that have always been supportive of women in automotive, we want them to continue to support us. We're looking at continuing our mentoring program. Women Powered University was a real big focus on how do we help women that are looking to partner with senior leaders or other leaders in this industry that can help them out. We're also continuing our conference. So we didn't do the conference this year as we lay out the foundation of where we're going next, but you can definitely expect to see us next year in our annual conference where we'll have all of the great things that so many have come to become accustomed to. And then I would tell you the last thing that recharge means to me, and as part of this organization, is the regional events. Because we've had so many of our sponsors reach out and say, well, we have local women that are kind of in our community that may not get a chance to attend some of these bigger events. They may not get a chance to attend an ADA. How can we still bring some of the lessons and resources and people and talent and key, the speakers and the great content that we provide? How do we bring that to these women at a lower, not a lower, a local level? And that's one of the big focus. So when I think of Recharged, a lot of those great ideas that our sponsors and our members have shared with us that they would like to do, we want to do those, and that is our plan. And so we look forward to those kind of four pillars: our membership, our mentorship, our regional meetings and our regional events, and then our conference is giving us an opportunity to continue to spread the word and advocate for women.
Kathy, I think also you mentioned, I think the second one is the mentoring pillar.
Yes.
At the retail level, creating that awareness that there is a resource available to help me in my career. Okay,
Mhm.
that this is available. I think that is so important. Just to offer that guidance and that support, and that there are others to help you. Into making this an amazing career,
Mhm.
because up until women in automotive, Kathy, that really did not exist.
Yeah. Not on a broad level. There were kind of one-offs, but what we wanted to do was to take it to that next level because it's not just the entry level, right? It's not just I just joined the dealership or I just joined the manufacturer or vendor partner. It isn't I just got in the industry. It's I'm in the industry, but now I don't know how to advance. I don't know how to negotiate. I don't know how to have some of those conversations. And so when we talk about mentoring is not just that one-on-one. Ted, you and I got a question, I can reach out and call you and you and I can talk. But it's also the mentoring groups, right? Where you get one person and they're talking about a key topic. And that topic could be work-life balance. It could be, how do I manage now, advancing my career in automotive? What opportunities are there? So there's a lot of opportunity, at least for us that we see for women across the country, where having someone that you can talk to, whether it's internal to your organization or external, it helps you. And it helps women stay in this industry uh, rather than leave out and try another industry. So when you have somebody you can talk to, someone that can tell you, it gets better, and trust me, this is a great place to be. Those are the conversations we want to have and the support we want to provide for
Wow.
our women
Well,
members, or
and
well,
in
actually all
addition,
members.
right. And in it, like she said, all members, because in addition, we're going to offer support for men as well, because it doesn't just take men or women, it takes those men that support the women. And the men have to learn how to interact with women in some instances, because it's not just a boys' club anymore, or perceived boys' club anymore, because, women are moving up the ranks. And in some businesses and cultures of businesses, the men just either don't quite know how to adjust and adapt to having women at the higher ranks. They want to, but they still have to adjust.
You know what,
So,
Veronica, a great point. And to that point, I have heard on a number of the panels we've had that, from an ROI perspective at the dealership level, Kathy, as an example, there is a much greater ROI when your staff resembles the consumer, okay? And especially making your consumer comfortable. And since women account for the overwhelming majority of purchase decisions, not just in sales, but in service and all the way through the car experience, women trust and want to deal with other women as well. And what I have learned, Veronica and Kathy, along the way, is that the ROI for a dealership is incredible. It's through the roof. And if a dealership is not, actively working and promoting and encouraging and mentoring, they are, Kathy, at a disadvantage by not having that.
Oh, absolutely. The other thing I would tell you is that the dealership is the community that we live in terms of supporting our deals, but it applies across the board in every industry, in every company. And so, to your point, is very valid that it's not just in retail, it's not just a dealership, but it starts. I mean, it's across the board, whether it's our OEM partners, whether it's our vendors, every company in every industry benefits when they have people that are representative of the communities that they serve. And so when you think about, women, they bring a different perspective, not that it's better or worse, but it's different. And those are the perspectives that allow us to build better products, to service our customers better, because ultimately you're getting a perception that, again, I can't tell you what it's like to be a man because I'm not, right? But I have been around men. I've served it. Well, service is the wrong term. I've been around men. I've supported men in terms of our business, but I can't tell you what it's like. And so when you have men in the room, women in the room, diversity matters. And companies that support diversity, they have better solutions, better results, and their revenue numbers go up because you're building products based on the communities that you serve.
I love it. You've also got a partnership with Driving Sales. Would one of you like to tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Veronica?
sure. So when I was going through the process of purchasing Women Automotive, one of the key things I thought of was, to build a company and make it successful, you can either expand by building, if you want to expand quickly, obviously, you build it, you buy it, or you partner with it. That's the only way to expand quickly. And my background, obviously, is M&A. We're not a company that's going to build anything of our own. So Jared was on our, Jared Hamilton, one of the most brilliant minds in the industry, I think. He was on he was on our board of directors previously, and also a good friend. So we just chatted several times. I talked to him about the acquisition. Did it make sense? Would it be able to go further? We just talked business, nuts and bolts, black and white. And one day we just started talking about, well, what would it look like if we partnered? They have the conferencing and logistics down. We are going to be hitting the ground running from ground zero, basically. And he'd have a bigger reach. It would really help us to expand quicker and, pick up a lot of the ancillary costs to be able to have those twice a year conferences that we have every year or had. But they had the knowledge and the execution and it was down to a science. And it was like, well, that's brilliant. You really couldn't get any better. And of course, we had our mentorship platform. Well, driving sales, what a lot of people do know, and again, a lot of people don't know, they have their HCM platform. HCM is human capital management. It's very similar to our mentorship platform, but for the training aspect of the dealerships. So it comes with accountability and scorecarding and training, career pathing. So you put the two together and it's just an unbelievable platform. So not only will our members for Women in Automotive get mentorship, we have the ability to offer them a career path from ground level all the way up to the executive level. And it's just an unbelievable avenue for us now. And we wouldn't have been able to build it out that fast. So we chose not to build it, not to buy it. We partnered with it. And you cannot pick a better partner than Gerald Hamilton and his team because they are all just so phenomenal.
Last question for today. What tips can you share with women in the industry who would like to get more involved, learn more about women in automotive, learn about a lot of these things that you're telling us right now? I'll let you both answer that. Veronica, I'll let you go first. I'll give Kathy the last word.
Well, I'll answer about how vendors and sponsors and OEMs can get involved because that's the route we're taking. We really would like for our OEM partners, which we've talked to several already, and vendors to get involved because our ultimate goal at the end of the day is we would like to offer the mentorship, membership, and career pathing to our members at no cost or very little cost. So we can be able to give it to as many people in the industry that need it, that want it. And we found at our last conference that they lined up in droves for the ones that we gave away from the sponsors that stepped up. So for those folks, the sponsors and the vendors and the OEMs that would like to participate, please reach out to me directly. My contact information is going to be provided by Ted. And how to get involved is in the membership, because that's what Kathy's going to be doing.
and there's a QR code. Veronica, there's a QR code as well, is there not?
There is.
Okay. So I would finish up and say kind of two things. One is we're in the process of building the foundation or rebuilding the foundation in terms of what Women in Automotive looks like. So I would say definitely reach out to those of us that are part of the organization. If you want to learn more about it, if you want to get more involved, we will have a QR code, especially targeting our mentorship and those that either want to be a mentor, be a mentee, or to just sponsor someone in the program. There's a lot of value from a mentor-mentee perspective. But the other part of that is we have so many of our leaders that are in a position right now where they don't have the time to do the one-on-one. So there are other opportunities that we can, that we're looking at to provide the ability for some of our senior leaders to interface, whether that's at our regional events, at our conference. So I would just tell you the best thing to do is to get involved, shoot us an email, or just reach out. Let us know that you're interested, and then we can talk more specifically about what opportunities may exist for us to partner together. But anyone that is interested in women, that love women, that are women, that have women, that they are supporting, please support us, because we are all about how do you advocate and grow the role women have in automotive.
What a great message for our industry. Congratulations, Kathy, Gilbert. and Veronica Dunford on the Recharged Women in Automotive. Everybody, we encourage you to get involved, to contact both Kathy and Veronica at the QR code that's on your screen, and to learn more about women in automotive. They have some very exciting things coming up and a lot more in store. So stay tuned. On behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable and the Fixed Ops community, Kathy and Veronica, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Ted. And good luck with the rest of the conference.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ted. We really
Kathy
appreciate
Gilbert and Veronica Dunford from the Recharged Women in Automotive here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.